Yo, what's up, Realm Royale gamers? I'm Dr. Tepper, top tournament player in OB23, and today I will be going over rune prioritization between each class combination in Realm Royale. There are currently 15 playable runes in the game. Passive Repair, Armor Potion Effectiveness, Lifesteal, Healing Increase, CC Protection, Reload Speed, Movement Speed, Mount Speed, Chicken Health, Weapon Damage, Headshot Damage, and the 3 ability cooldown reduction runes corresponding to your support, offensive, and movement ability slots. Here's the thing. You only have 6 rune slots for your character, so it is up to you to decide which runes to pick up, and which to leave behind. On screen, I will show you some ideal solo rune loadouts, and explain the meta a little bit. Here, this is basically the best solo rune loadout for most classes. Movement speed allows faster right peaks, and the ability to catch your enemies when you have an advantage. Passive allows you to start fights from full HP without really needing to use any armor. Lifesteal and Healing Increase pair with each other very well, as Healing Increase increases the amount of lifesteal you get, as well as any other healing. Weapon Damage boosts your weapon's damage, as well as the amount of lifesteal you get, because you're hitting harder with each shot. And finally, Armor Potion Rune. This is really, really good at sustaining your armor HP mid-fight. Here is another really solid solo rune loadout. Reload speed will be replacing movement. Headshot will be replacing armor potion effectiveness. This would be really good for any class that can headshot and needs to reload faster. So your assassin, your arbalest hunter, stone staff mage, things like that. This is really good. This one is what I would use for longbow hunter. You headshot really hard and you still move very fast. Okay, now that you know the meta runes, I can start getting into what runes to prioritize if you're playing in duos. While classes do not have specific roles of tank, DPS, or healer, they can fill those niches with the correct rune loadouts. I'll explain what I mean. Warrior is not innately a tank, but if you give him passive, healing increase, lifesteal, weapon damage, he becomes a tank. It's hard to kill a warrior if he has that much sustain. The same thing applies to mage. If mage is in her healing station with the same runes as the aforementioned warrior, it's going to be hard to kill her, and she will tank a lot of damage for your team. So the tank niche is what Edding and I would call frontman. And if you have a frontman in duos, the other one will have to be the backman. And backman can be filled by any class, really, whereas your frontman is best performed by warrior or mage pretty exclusively. Okay, now we can get into what runes to prioritize for your frontman, which we'll call from here on out Initiator, and your backman, which we'll call your DPS. It is worth noting that each member of your duo ideally would want their perfect solo loadout in a perfect world. However, we know that's not the case, so I'll explain which runes to take first on your Initiator and which runes to take first as your DPS. Okay, so here is basically the ideal Initiator loadout. So I'll go over the compositions later and tell you which classes are the Initiators in each team comp, but to start off, I'll explain why this is the best for Initiators. Passive. It allows your frontman to go in every fight with full armor and full HP. Support cooldown. Your Initiators are usually healers, and their support is really powerful for that. Lifesteal and healing increase allows for huge sustain mid-fight, and also allows to heal your teammates for more in some cases. Movement speed allows your Initiator to peak faster move faster, just maneuver. It's really good. And CC protection means that your initiator can use their movement more freely and not be punished as hard with enemy crowd control abilities. Again, it is still worth noting, your DPS can take these same runes. However, it is really important that your initiator gets them first. Alright, on screen now is your DPS duo loadout if you can't duplicate runes. So these are the runes you'll be taking first as your DPS without needing to talk with your initiator. So that'll be armor potion effectiveness, weapon damage, headshot, chicken health, mount speed, and either movement cooldown or offense ability cooldown. Now you can obviously take other runes, but if you're only finding one of each rune per game, then this is what your loadout might look like. If you as a DPS are playing Assassin or Arbalest Hunter, you're definitely going to want to throw a reload speed rune in there somewhere. This loadout is really based on pumping out a lot of damage and having a lot of survivability with the armor potion effectiveness rune. Okay, now that I've gone over the basic ideology of initiator and DPS, we can get into which classes specifically will be the initiator and which will be the DPS in certain compositions and combinations. Alright, starting off is your classic warrior and hunter duo. This is very popular and, in my opinion, the best duo combo. So this one's pretty straightforward. Your warrior will be the initiator and your hunter will be the DPS. So they'll get their respective runes. Okay, now we can speed run these. A lot of them are pretty straightforward. So your warrior assassin, warrior will be initiator, assassin will be DPS. For your mage hunter, mage will be initiator, hunter DPS. Mage assassin, same thing. Okay, now for assassin hunter, I think assassin would make for the better initiator, especially if he picked up something like fortification or even healing station. Alright, the last duo combination of mage warrior is definitely the most complicated. Mage is still going to be your initiator, so she gets passive, all cooldown runes, CC protection, movement speed. Warrior gets lifesteal, healing increase, weapon damage, and mount speed, chicken health, things like that. Alright, the last thing I want to go over is actually putting this into practice. If you are playing your initiator class for your team, you need to be making sure you're getting the correct runes, for one. And for two, you need to make sure you are going in hard and your teammate is following you up. If you don't do this, this rune prioritization basically means nothing. Alright, that's gonna be it for me. I really hope you did learn something, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Scooby-Doo impression? Alright, here we go.